The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its host, Urban Arts Enterprises, advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. What's up, y'all? Well, you know what time it is. Why? And if you don't, I'm going to tell you. It's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. And time for Inside Steppin'. Linda Sanders, how you doing, lovely? I love you. Thank you for coming through. True Queen 45 in the building. Tina Israel in the house. Karen Nichols, how are you? Very good to see you guys coming through the door. You just done tipped, you done kicked the door in for me today.
Hey,
that's what's
everyone.
up.
Tell Tina to post the information about her.
Tina Israel?
Yes.
Tina, make sure you post the information for your party in October, so we make sure we get that out there. I'm gonna need that paperwork too, or your make sure I got everything. Let me put it like that. I'm only gonna talk about 2 events tonight in the end anyway. So we got 2 events that are coming up right away, 3, and we're gonna talk about those because they're coming right around the corner, and we got to make sure everybody understands what's happening. You dig? All right. So listen, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Regina Freeman, what's up, darling? She said, hello, producer lady. Dallas Brown in the building. How you doing? Dallas Brown, I understand you got an interview coming up with Mr. Reggie Miles. I look forward to that, sir. Very good. Now, shout out to my media counterpart, Mr. Reggie Miles, Conversations. If you missed his show on yesterday, you should go back and review. It was a very good show. Always is. Great subject matter. Wonderful history. Make sure you keep up with that. Deborah Edwards in the building. What's up, baby? How you doing? Okay, so look, y'all. Tonight's show is going to be one of y'all get y'all's thinking caps. Get your make sure you got your pencils and your paper. Make sure you have that you're ready, because tonight, you guys, it's lesson, it's study time, it's lesson time. We're gonna talk about some things tonight that I think are that need to sorely be discussed. Jackie Ballard, hey doll, how you doing? My DC folks over there. Cheryl Head in the building. Mary Alicia, how you doing? Dr. Francine is in the house. How you doing, my dear? Conversations in the building. Okay, tonight we're gonna have a discussion, a lesson for you all, for the sake of clarity. I think that it's high time we had this discussion. I think it's high time that we talked about what is important. Regina said, am I going to need a thesaurus? Regina, tonight, I hope not. I think that all of the words that I intend to use this evening should be easily palatable by everyone. They are very simple words. However, they have very strong meanings, and they're very important. And I want to put some things into perspective for you guys out there, especially for my newer steppers.
I think you should do a word of the week.
Word of the week?
Yes.
Okay, the producer lady says we need to start including a word of the week. I think that's a good idea. We might do that.
We're getting older. We need our brains.
Yes, you got to keep your brain moving. You know what I mean? You got to keep that thing clicking, ticking, you dig. So, TTLC Earth Angel, how you doing? Thank you for coming through. Bernice Newsom Short in the building. Norma Wilson, what's up, Normal? The fun girls are in full effect on Inside Steppin' tonight. Don't play no games. So, you guys, let me get to the subject at hand, because we only got an hour and we got to make sure we cover this stuff. This show tonight is about morality, integrity, and just being smart and good. Now, we're going to go over some things. And the reason why it's so important for me to do this tonight, Brenda J. Parker, how you doing? Is because I want clarity. Because I want people to have a fighting chance out here in this game that we call stepping. I want people, when they spend their money, to get every dime's worth that they're owed for what they do. This is a necessity. Now, there are some of you who will probably click on this and be like, I don't want to hear that mess. But I'm going to say this. When you don't listen and you don't pay attention, you find out somewhere down the road, that had you listened and paid attention, you might have messed around and saved yourself a whole bunch of problems. So peep game, here we go. Hey, Janet Wooten. Morality and integrity are very closely related. Integrity is the practice of holding one's own moral principles. Now, some people, moral principles are very loose. Some people's moral principles ain't worth a damn. We can't change that. We can't change people. We can influence sometimes, but what we can do is choose how we intend to spend our time and our money. And therefore, those who have loose moral values, now I don't want you to misunderstand me right here. This is not a judgment show. This is about people holding not only themselves accountable, but those around them. We are charged, all of us, to some degree, to hold those that we intend to keep company with. We have to hold them to their morals. We have to make sure that they are being the best them that they can be, within reason, of course, because some of us can endure more than others when it comes to the people we choose to hang around. Some of us have a very broken moral compass and we decide, hey, what the hell, we're going to kick it. We're going to go rob somebody. That's that moral compass that they have. Then you have other people that say, well, you know what, we're going to go feed the homeless. And that's their moral compass. And people tend to gravitate toward one another with those types of ideas. Now, morals are a personal, people's personal beliefs about what's right and wrong. Now, the thing is, we all know the difference between right and wrong. We don't need a book, the Bible, or any of the other theological writings to tell us the difference between right and wrong, because guess what? We feel when something is right and something is wrong. We know when something is right and wrong, even if we have a broken moral compass, right? Okay. Now, it's about being, when it comes to integrity, it's about living within living according to the rules that you have set for yourself. All of us should have standards. If we don't have any standards, then what are we doing? If you have not set any personal standards for yourself, what are you doing? And what are you willing to accept from others? See, you heard that part right there, because this is where we're going to start getting into it. What are you willing to accept from other people, and why? Now, I could say that everything that I'm discussing tonight has to do with the stepping world. However, this is also going to play into your personal life. And of course, stepping is a part of your personal life. But I digress on that part right there for now. People's morals and integrity are definitely influenced by their upbringing, their culture, and their individual experiences, right? And a person with good morals could be described as virtuous, righteous, ethical, honorable, and principled, right? And integrity, it refers to the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. It's about staying true to one's values and acting in accordance with those values, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. The question is, what are you going to do when nobody is looking? Are you going to have integrity and do the right thing? Are you going to return that money that you found because you saw who dropped it? Are you going to do, and nobody saw you, are you going to do the right thing? Or are you going to bend those rules to be who you are, I guess? Okay. Again, I ain't got no heaven or hell to put nobody in, but you got to stay with me because all of this is going somewhere. I'm just laying the groundwork right now. Now, the relationship in the two. Integrity is a manifestation of one's morals. A person with integrity consistently acts in ways that align with their own moral beliefs, and even when faced with pressure to do otherwise. When nobody else is looking, what will you do? Moral integrity is a specific term for acting with integrity in moral context. It involves being honest, courageous, and making choices that reflect one's inner values. Now, I brought all of that up because I want to address a couple of things. In this community, now we're going to get to the dance part of this. In this dance community, over the years, and I believe we can give Miss Sunshine Haywood credit for the term heavy hitter. Back in those days when she was writing for Shy Stepper, and T Pratt and that group back then, back before we had the ability to do the podcasting and things like this, they were writing a lot of things and it was posted on social media and on websites. And the term heavy hitter was coined by her. I am not against the term heavy hitter, but what I'd like to do is help to give clarity and understanding to that term, along with the term of icon and the term of legend. And the reason I'm so adamant about doing this now is because we need to understand why these things make people behave sometimes in ways that they shouldn't be behaving. There are people within this dance who have become popular because of this dance, popular in the circles in which we all have chosen to travel together, because that's what this is. This is about the social aspect of what we all do. We dance. And I'm going to get to the part where I say, and y'all have heard it many times before, you don't know these people. A heavy hitter. The definition of a heavy hitter, a noun, by the way, an influential person who works hard to promote the causes they are interested in. Important person, influential person, personage, one whose actions and opinions strongly influence the course of events. A heavy hitter is someone or something that is very powerful or successful. A very important or influential person. Okay. That is an accurate terminology for what a heavy hitter is. Now, am I against using that terminology to describe certain individuals? No, I'm not. But I do believe that we have come to a place in this community where we are very loose with our use of that term. And I want you all, the everyday, ordinary, regular folks, and I'm going to get back to you guys on that, for that terminology as well. You are what is referred to as the hoi polloi. Hoi polloi are the regular folks, the folks who are the ones who spend all the money, the ones who jump on those planes, the ones who make the difference between whether or not a set is successful or a failure. See, I want you to understand that as the hoi polloi, the everyday people, you actually have an enormous amount of power yourself. It's kind of like understanding civics. You know that collectively a group of people can pick and choose and decide what happens within the society that we live every single day just by choosing. You, as the hoi polloi, have that choice, but you have to accept it and use it, and not just be another person saying, well, I'm cool. I don't need, There are plenty of people who have always say stuff like, I just want to dance. I don't care nothing about all that. Well, while that may be true, you also set the standard. You make the difference. I'm going to get into that in a minute. So let's discuss what an icon is. Now, the reason I'm bringing up these different terminologies is because it's necessary for us to begin to, if we're going to be using names, if we're going to be doing these type of things, we need to understand exactly what we're saying rather than just taking words that we heard and regurgitating those words so that other people kind of get an idea of what you're talking about. Let's put it into perspective. We're going to do that tonight. An icon. An icon is a person or a thing regarded as a representative symbol or as worthy of veneration. Now, note this or is necessary. I'm going to explain veneration. Veneration is a respect or awe inspired by the dignity, wisdom, dedication, or talent of a person. Being an icon means being widely admired and influential, especially in a particular field or sphere. It suggests a person or thing that is highly recognized, respected, and revered, often representing a specific ideal or quality. Essentially, an icon is a symbol of a particular thing or era, embodying certain values or achievements that inspire others. Now, why am I breaking down what an icon is? Well, because the simple fact is that more people in this community should be considered icons, which runs sort of parallel to heavy hitter. It's very much the same. But the reason the word icon is a necessity in our community is because what we need to do is begin to stop using words like legend. If one more person walks up to me and says, I'm a legend, listen to me. No, I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to scream. I want you to understand the difference because there needs to be a breakdown here. All right? A more detailed breakdown. Influence and significance. An icon implies having a significant impact on a particular area, whether it's art, music, fashion, politics, or any other field. Widely admired. Icons are not just known, they are admired and respected by a broad audience. Think about what I'm saying right now. Admired. Admired. And respected as a symbol of a larger cultural or societal audience. Okay? If they're not admired and respected, and we're going to get into the fact that it's possible to be admired and respected for all the wrong things too. But in the positive term, admired and respected should be a good thing because we have to be careful. There are a lot of people who don't mind popularity no matter what it takes to get it. And that within itself is a dangerous thing. Symbolic representation. They often represent a particular era, style, or movement serving as a symbol of a larger cultural societal shift. Inspiration. Icons inspire others to achieve great things, to embody certain qualities, or to follow an example. Think about what I'm saying now. They're inspirational. They move people to be better than they were before they met them. An icon can do that. Perpetual relevance. The impact of an icon often extends beyond their lifetime or activity, continuing to be relevant and admired by generations to come. There's popularity in that. Now, the reason that part is particularly necessary is because now we're easing over into legendary status. When you've gotten to the point where, dead or alive, your iconic presence makes people still admire, remember, respect, and love you, then your relevance will always remain. We have people within this community who have gone on to be with the ancestors, whose relevance still remains, whose admiration, who other people admire, is still in play. Now, where we get into trouble is that while this dance has been very good to a lot of people and has made people's lives better, let's be very careful about how we handle one another and even them. Now, I want to talk about a legend. Legend, by definition, a legend is a traditional story, right? It is a story told. Now, I want you to think about what I'm saying. I'm breaking these things all the way down because I want these definitions and I want this understanding to be very clear. A legend is generally a story that is told, sometimes regarded as popular historical events, but is unauthenticated. See, legends, like, you know how you could tell a kid story, you tell a story, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, somebody adds something to the story and it becomes legend. And then all of a sudden, somebody else will tell that same story with the part that somebody else added. And next thing you know, the guy who simply walked to the grocery store became Spider-Man, and he was swinging from buildings because that's what the story said, because he's legendary. He's legend. He's become a legend. Remember now, a legend is a story from the past that is believed by many but cannot be proved true. So be careful what you ask for. What qualifies a person to be a legend? Legends are not just those who are remembered in history books. They are individuals who inspire, see, here we go again, challenge and change the world. One act, one voice, one story at a time. I want you to understand again, when you hear people, and you will, claim to be a legend, the immediate question that should pop into your head, especially if they're the ones that have to tell it to you. See, how does a legend tell their own story? The story is usually told by others, not by the person that's making the claim. A legend can refer to several things, but generally it's a story passed down through generations, often with elements of folklore or a focus on notable figure or event. It can also describe a person who has achieved great fame or recognition for their accomplishments. I'm saying accomplishments because I want you to be clear. When a person has been deemed a legend, the immediate question, again, should be, what has that person done? What accomplishment have they achieved that has affected this community, this dance, and the way you view the dance? Is what they did as a legend something that everybody else is talking about? Not them, but everybody else. If I got to convince you that I'm a legend, sorry, that ain't it. That ain't it. Now, let's move forward. Legends are typically oral traditions, meaning they are passed down through storytelling rather than being written down. Once again, not provable, just a legend. Things that somebody made up. So be careful. You call yourself a legend. What did they make up? Did they make up something, or was what they telling the truth? These stories often have a historical basis. What has any so-called legend done that was historical in the Steppers community? We have some now. Don't get it twisted, but not as many as we think. Because why? Those people are icons, not legends. These stories often have historical basis, but they're embellished or exaggerated over time, incorporating elements of the supernatural or the fantastical. Legends often focus on heroic figures or extraordinary happenings that have shaped a particular culture or place. Extraordinary happenings that have shaped a particular culture or place. We have people in this community who have shaped this culture and created places that we only remember. But the difference is most of the stories that you hear are true. They are not embellished, made up versions of what actually happened. Why? Because we're not going to let it slide anyway. Not in this community. I'm not going to let it slide. You're not going to sit up in my face and tell me a bunch of lies and have me believe that certain things took place when I know doggone well they didn't. Kind of like the people who, I was there, I was here, I was there. No, you wasn't. Stop it. No, you weren't. A person of great fame and renown. In this context, a legend is someone who has achieved extraordinary accomplishments and is widely admired for their achievements. If a person tells you that they are a legend, your immediate question should be, what did you accomplish and achieve? Myra Mitchell says in her response, African proverb, until the lion learns how to write, every story will glorify the hunter. Exactly. And that's a fact. Hey, Susu, what's up, baby? Good to see you. David Calhoun in the building. Sunshine in the house. Jana Wilson in the house. Y'all coming on down. Come on through. You understand me? Now, legends are often considered to be pioneers, innovators in their field, and their impact is lasting and significant. Now, the reason anybody is either a legend, an icon, or any of the things that classify them as what they are that goes beyond what I mentioned earlier, the everyday people, the hoi polloi, is popularity. Popularity. Now, I want you to remember something now that we're talking about popularity, because this is where it gets sketchy. You can become popular very easily. It can be good or it can be bad. And there are those who say that any popularity or any attention is good attention, and that's just simply not true. Be very careful what you become popular for in the Steppers community. Because let me tell you, for those of you who may not know, it will follow you. It will follow you, baby, like a doggone puppy tied to a rope. It's coming right behind you. Now, everybody got an opportunity to change now. Don't get it twisted. We all, I'd like to believe that I'm better. And if you're not changing, then there's something wrong with you. I believe that I'm better. I get better every day, and I'm working on that. El Lamar says a story for a legend used to be word of mouth. Thankfully, in this age of videos, we add to this story, still reminding yourself that men fall short of glory. Should help people in this stay grounded. Absolutely. Thank you. Now, attention is not always a good thing. But the funny thing about attention is there's this little thing that I heard years ago, and it was repeated to me again on yesterday by someone. You know who you are. You know what? Wait a minute. Let me stop for a second. Popularity is not the best thing all the time. If you give too much attention, to a donkey, he starts to think he's a lion. People tend to believe, and this is what I'm talking about, their own press. Unfortunately, there are those who have a lot of misconceptions and a lot of confusion about what people's real idea and thoughts of them are. Sometimes we walk around with levels of arrogance and hubris. And for those of you who remember and ask me about that word, hubris is an arrogance, in short. If you don't know, go and you can look it up. No. I got the peanut gallery over here coughing.
Excuse me.
And hubris is an arrogance. And we have lots of people who walk around with a level of hubris, and they do not take the time to check a mirror every now and then because they are afraid themselves of the reflection that will return and having to deal with the things that come with that. Popularity is a state or condition of being liked or admired or supported by many people. That is a good thing. Because when people support you, so there's reasons behind it. The fact that something or someone is liked, enjoyed, or supported by many people makes it usually a good thing. There's something endearing about you that makes people say, I like that person. I wasn't going to say any names tonight, but I am at this point. I'm going to say a name right now. There's a gentleman who dances with every doggone woman at a set. His name is Dallas Brown. And like Reggie Miles pointed out on yesterday, if Dallas Brown is in the room and there's 800 women in there, 900 women, he going to dance with 899 of them. And the only reason he ain't going to dance with the one is because he ran out of time. Now, I said that to say that Dallas has become popular for that reason. His popularity is good. It is positive. It is admirable. Many other male dancers should aspire to be like Dallas.
My little brother.
That allows for people to be to have an admiration for him, for people to like him, for him to be popular, for him to get attention. The attention that he receives has to do with his accomplishments. His accomplishment is, hell, Dallas, I don't think been dancing now 5 years, something like that. Is that about right? That's one accomplishment. 2, he goes everywhere. 3, he dances with everybody. To me, that's an accomplishment in this doggone in this game. Because let's keep it a buck. Very few people can travel as much as he does. He's all over the country. Literally, he was just, did he go to spring break? Mm-hmm. He was at spring break. He was in Dallas. I mean, he hits every doggone set. And he dances the whole damn time. Popularity for that. No, that's right. He didn't make it to Dallas. Anyway, it don't matter because you don't. I see him so much at sets all over the country that it don't matter. If he show up, you can believe this here. If you're a woman in the game, you're gonna dance. He said, "Okay, Dallas, thank you." He said he's been dancing 6 years now. If he's in the room, you're gonna dance. Popularity, positive popularity. That is going to take Dallas into the realm of icon at some point. Depending on how much Dallas is willing to, how much work he's willing to put in throughout his lifetime of stepping, because he's a young guy. Who's to say that 10 years, 20 years from now, they're not saying, well, shit, Dallas was legendary. That dude danced with everybody, and they'll never forget it. That's what legends are made of. Not, listen, remember back in the part when I said a legend or an icon affects individuals one person at a time, influences things one way or the other. When you as a male, and I'm going to use in Dallas, walk into a room and there are women in there who may not dance and they see Dallas, guess what? They know they're going to get to dance that night Because at some point or another, if he don't make it over there to you, trust me, it wasn't for lack of effort. So at some point it becomes legendary that this guy, when he come to a set, dude putting in work.
Let him in free.
Ain't nobody gonna forget that. And like producer lady always say, all you promoters, if he show up at your set, you need to let Dallas in, because he's going to be remembered for that. Period.
He at least dance with everybody. He's worth the ticket.
So anyway, let me move on. If you give, people become popular by being kind to others and being mindful of how they make them feel. Remember this. You got people walking around out here with their ass on their shoulders, and they forget that how you act toward one another in this community. I may forget what you said to me. I may not remember the words that passed between us, but what I will never forget, and I believe it was Maya Angelou that said that, is how you made me feel. If you made me feel some kind of way, I'm not going to ever forget that. So it's important to make sure that we treat one another with a certain level of kindness. Popularity comes from that. There are people on this set who, whenever you see them, they have a smile on their face. Whenever you see them, there's a pleasant greeting. I'm not going to lie to y'all, and many of you may have noticed, there are times now I don't dance nothing like I used to. I'm more interested. I enjoy the social aspects of this community because there's so many wonderful people in this game, man. It is amazing. It is amazing when I get to touch hands just to get a good hug. Some of y'all get some real good hugs. Let me just go there. It is amazing to me when I run up on some of these men that I know stand for something and I get to be in their presence. I don't have to be the man when I walk in the room. I like to see other dudes come in there clean, sharp. I like to see them dudes come in there and get on the floor and make these women smile. I enjoy watching a cat with a cold ass hat on and some badass gaiters. I love to see the ladies come in, dressed, beautiful, looking good, hair done, nails, eyebrow, all the stuff y'all do, looking good. The fact that we are putting makeup on my clothes. Look, the fact that we are at the age that we are, and I'm saying me because y'all know I'll be 60 this year. The fact that we are adults in a melanated community and the level of class that comes with our presence is amazing to me. Despite all of the BS and the nonsense that goes on, we can be better to each other and we can make each other feel way better. Again, be mindful about how you treat the people around you. You become popular because we all have common ground with each other. We have this dance. We find our shared values and our experiences and our interests in this dance. I have met some great people from all over this country because of this dance. Now, people, when we get together, there are individuals who just stand out. They stand out because they make people feel good when they're around. They don't have to work at it. See, you got people that are doing a lot of dumb, I'm just going to say dumb, just dumb things for the sake of being popular. They make ridiculous statements. They put on what are almost embarrassing displays sometimes in their behavior. And their actions are not what they should be wanting to be popular for. But you can't tell everybody everything. Because whatever happens, again, goes back. They believe their own press. They start thinking they're something other than what they are. And believing your own press means that if you tell a donkey too many times how great he is, you start thinking he's a lion. Check yourself. I check myself. You should do the same. We should all be checking ourselves. We should all be using that mirror in our bathroom to make sure we got our shit together before we walk out that door every single time. Tammy Lynn said, empty wagons make the most noise. That part right there. And we know there's some noisy folks out here, messy folks, and everything else. You become popularized by other people's attention of you. But I want y'all to remember something. This attention is just like money. And y'all know that our money is not really backed by anything. Money has us all sort of locked in, believing that it actually holds value. I want you to understand that money is nothing more than pieces of linen, not paper, linen, with green ink on it. Which, by the way, if you're creative enough, you could make yourself. And then, disclaimer, I'm not encouraging anybody to do any counterfeit. But I want you to understand that there's no tangible value to those little pieces of paper. What makes money money? What makes it valuable to the point where we can exchange services and goods for it? The will of the people. Money is popular because we say it is. It's not backed by gold, not like it used to be. It doesn't have any real value. It's just that these are the game pieces that we use, just like on a Monopoly board, to determine that we have something of value. Popularity is very much the same way. Popularity is only good if the people say that it is. But once again, you must be careful what you become popular for. A popular person can be defined as a celebrity, a dignitary, a heavyweight, a luminary, a mogul, a notable personality, a star, or superstar worthy. A popular person has the ability to be influential or has had an influence on many people. Back to the icon status. Icons become popular because of who? You. Without you, there is no popularity. I want y'all to see where I'm going with this. Someone who is popular is liked by most people, or most people in a particular group, and held in high esteem. Well, if you're going to be held in high esteem, you must behave like you deserve to be held in high esteem. People don't generally hold people in high esteem who are not worthy of being held highly or put onto pedestals that they never earned the right to be on. This is where we get into trouble in the Steppin community. We have individuals in this community who are great dancers, questionably, arguably, in some cases, but they're not good people. Think about that, what I just said. Just because a person has the ability to move their feet and legs and hands and arms and body in ways that you may not have perfected or you admire, it does not make their, let's go back to the beginning of the show, moral compass work. It does not solidify their integrity as a good person, which takes us back to the iconic status of influence and respect, which is parallel to the heavy hitter status, but not quite legendary. And even in the legendary status can be a bad thing, especially in this case when the things that you are saying are not provable. You have nothing that says that you actually deserve to be referred to as someone who made a mark on this community. See, we're going full circle here. Keith Hubbard in the building. What's happening? Reggie Miles, I see you. Kim Davis. William Owens, the collaboration is real, baby. Facts. Sheila Watkins in the house. So I want you to be clear about what's important in our community and the value, and this is where I'm going to get to the rest of you all, my people, the ones that I care the most about, the everyday, ordinary people that are not in promotion, that are not in the instruction, that are not DJs, that are not all of the things that we look to when we go to these sets. I'm talking about the regular folks, the hoi polloi, the ones with the real power in this game, the real legends and icons and heavy hitters, y'all. Without y'all and the value that you place on the importance of being popular, a heavy hitter, icon, legend, these people are nothing. None of us are. I want you to remember, Drew Alexander's in the building. How you doing? That without your approval of behaviors, good and bad, these people don't exist. We all took our first steps at some point or another. The same way the people who you, the hoi polloi, place on these pedestals, many of them never earned. They never earned the right to be on a pedestal, but you put them there anyway. Because you said, "Ooh, look, he can dance." Come on now. El Lamar says the social aspects and the maturity is what is inviting to a newcomer like me. Meeting Tick Man and even Angie Fain took moments out of their time and talked to me and my wife. Part one of the coin. Absolutely. Because both of those people care about the community and they care about the people and the way people feel when they're in it, immersed in it. You know, some people, man, they go all hog wild in this thing. So let's talk about ordinary people. There's common experiences that we all share. And despite any pedestal that you want to place any one of these people on, they're still ordinary people. They put their pants on just like you. The phrase recognizes everyone from all walks of life. It shares basic human needs and desires, such as desire for peace, connection, and well-being. Plenty of people have no desire to be a heavy hitter or other things, including many of the so-called heavy hitters. You know, a lot of these heavy hitters, Rich Jackson, I'm glad you on here. I'm good to see you, brother. Lorna Leslie, how you doing? Rich, I'm going to be reaching out to you here in the next couple of days. Stay tuned for that. Heavy hitters oftentimes, or what we refer to as heavy hitters, don't even want to be called heavy hitters. These are the ones who have humility, who have integrity, and know because they've looked in the mirror in the morning when they got up and they understand that we are all a part of this human condition and that they don't have to go out here in the world and put on airs in front and try to be something that they never set out to be. They dance well and they know how to treat people. If you really want to know the truth, you want to become a heavy hitter, if that's a thing on your agenda, dance well, perfect your craft, as I've always been told throughout my life, and treat people the right way. And you will be a heavy hitter yourself. And that's a fact. Dance well. Better yet, let me back up. Be an exceptional dancer. Don't just dance well, be exceptional. Being exceptional means being the best you that you can be, not trying to be like other people who you refer to as heavy hitters. Do you realize how many people will be so much colder as dancers if they just did them. The basic foundation of this dance is the same as it always was, from the bop all the way forward to where we are today. But the people who found ways to be innovative within their own space are the ones that you admire the most, because they didn't follow somebody else's path. They cut their own path. Leaders, you know what leading means? It means you go first. It don't mean you got a whole bunch of people behind you and, oh, y'all follow me. No, it just simply means you went first with no expectations of a train behind you. You just did what you did. And when you did that, others decided, I like what he just did. Let's go where he went. Hell, let's try it. And there's nothing wrong with that, because then they have set a foundation to create a space that you may not have seen before or knew even existed. And it gave us another outlet, another avenue by which to travel. You can do that too. Every one of you, every single person that is listening to this show has the ability to create a lane of their own and become an admired individual for what they do in this dance. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying, because we got some clowns out here now. I ain't got no heaven or hell to put them in, and I'm not one to critique nobody's dance. I don't believe in that. I came up in a time in this dance where everybody literally had their own style. Nobody looked the same. Nobody looked identical on that dance floor. I came up in a time where nobody criticized other people's dance. Nobody was like, you can't even dance. We didn't hear that back in the day. Besides which, you should probably be careful about what you let come out your mouth back in them days anyway. Let's just go there. But we didn't do all that. The people that you are witnessing today, who are the ones that everybody loves so much, are very much throwbacks to that time, because they understand the basics of the dance and have created their own lane. Every person within the sound of my voice that is a stepper, if the person who instructed you, or should I say people in many of your cases, who instructed you in this dance did not tell you that you can be yourself and still do this dance, they did you a disservice. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, you should ask for your money back, but
No.
all I'm saying is, this is your dance as much as it is mine, as much as it is every person who ever did this dance. It's yours. Make it yours. Be your own heavy hitter and be nice to people while you do it. And you'll be amazed how far it'll get you. I promise you. Everyday people refers to ordinary, non-famous, and generally typical individuals. It highlights the common experience and perspectives of the average person, emphasizing that everyone, regardless of their background or status, shares similar needs and feelings. The phrase can also be used to mean the average person or a typical person. And whether we like it or not, and whether the so-called the self-proclaimed legends like it or not, they're typical people. I need my people out here to understand that we all put our pants on the same exact way. Stop thinking these people can walk on water. Stop wasting your money and your time with people who are in this for all the wrong reasons. The nefarious, the grifters, the ones who have no good intent except to line their pockets. Run. Ask questions. I can't stress that enough. I've said it 10,000 times. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to repeat it over and over until y'all get it. Ask questions. Vet these people. Find out who you are dealing with. Them being good dancers, or what you may deem as a good dancer, does not make them good people. I cannot say this enough times. You don't owe them jack. Nothing. You got people out here that think that automatically just, well, so-and-so deserves certain level of respect. Not over here. You want my respect, you're going to earn it. I don't give respect just because it's something you think somebody deserves because they know how to dance. Don't get this twisted. You want respect from me, you'll earn it. It's that simple. It's really that simple. Anything less, I match energy. That's probably a bad thing, but I'm good at it.
We working on it.
I'm a work in progress. Producer lady say we working on it. Yes, we are. But just know I got no problem with my retort. None. On no level.
We need that word.
No, that's a legal term. Anyway, I want you all to understand. I want you all to be clear. Just like you go in a store to purchase a product, a good, a service, or anything else, and you spend your money, you expect something in return. I don't give a damn if it's $150 and they say they're going to give you a bag of popcorn. You should get that bag of popcorn, and it should be good popcorn. And if it's not, I'm going to need you to walk back in there and say, hey, look here, this popcorn ain't popped. This ain't popcorn, it's caramel corn. I need my money back. It is what it is. Just because a person has talent, let me tell y'all something. Long time ago, I ran with a bunch of artists for a while, and I'm an artist in my own right. But I was around a lot of very famous artists. And I was around a lot of not so famous artists, heavy hitters, if you will. And what I learned was, because I have a good friend who is a very famous, very popular, and very accomplished artist. And what I learned by watching his journey was that I've run across a lot of extremely talented other artists. They were really, really good. And I ran across some artists that was trash, in my opinion. But some of them trash artists, they was getting millions. Some of the good artists, not so much. But what that taught me was that just because you are talented does not make you a good business person. I have seen people with talent out the wazoo. I'm talking about cold with it. And never made it to the forefront. Never. Never got seen. Never got heard. Look at all of the musical people. The people who literally can bring tears to your eyes when they sing. They ain't never seen a contract. They ain't never got a shot at a contract. They ain't never got shot at doing nothing in music. Talented as hell. Just because you are good at something does not make you a good business person, and it does not make you wise. Wisdom deserves its own popularity. All right.
TD Jakes has a spot open.
There you go. This breakdown tonight is for the purpose of why you should not be placing people who did not earn their spot on pedestals that they have no right to be sitting upon. There's a lot of talented people out here. Just because they dance well, you better ask some questions. That's all I'm going to tell you. I keep saying it. I'm doing this special show tonight for this reason. Find out who you dealing with. Listen. You can ask around. Now, I'm talking about if you're doing business with somebody. Ask questions. There are, y'all ever seen that movie 6 Degrees of Separation? I want you to understand. Thank you, Jackie Hodges. She says, and what are the questions we need to ask? I'm glad you asked. If, let's say, for example, you decide to, Reggie Miles, you silly. Let's say you decide to take a class somewhere. These are not necessarily the worst situations, only because the class is, depending on what you're spending. Let me just say that. I want you to remember that just like how you go to these dance and these events, and no matter what happens, you have fun. There are people who are like that, and I admire you all for that. But just like that, in the same vein, you can go to any instructor and you can learn something from even a terrible instructor. I'm not saying it's going to always happen. I'm just saying it's possible. But what I am saying is, if people got to run up on you, oh, you need to come see me. I got this for you. I got that for you. And they busy selling. And they haven't shown you anything. Ask somebody else. I'm not saying don't go to somebody else. I'm saying just ask. Hey, you ever worked with this guy? He ever taught you anything? You know anybody that ever learned from him? And if they say, oh yeah, get the information. See, one of the problems in this community is that we don't even have a review system in place, which at one point I was trying to put together and I just lost track of time and energy. I ain't gonna lie about it. This is a gem for somebody out there that may want to do it. Put together a review system. We need a review system for instructors. We need a review system for promoters. We need a system in place that says, well, that guy is good at teaching basic. Go to him for your basic. That guy over there is great at teaching combinations. If you just want to learn how to do a whole bunch of spins and turns, go on and do that. Ask questions. Jackie Hodges says, but sometimes the people are scared to speak on these individuals when people ask them questions. And Jackie, this is the reason for this show. Because you need to understand that these people need to be spoken about. They need to be, let me back up. If an instructor has a problem with you asking about them, you probably want to stay away from them anyway. If you got to be afraid to ask a question about their ability to provide you with a service, you probably don't need to go there. I don't know an instructor who's going to sit up and say, oh, what they asking about me for? They either want it or they don't. You don't want to be over there anyway. See what I'm saying? So that cancels itself out. All of the reputable instructors that I'm aware of will be happy that you even asking about them. Oh, yeah, tell her to call me. I'll answer the questions for her. Or if you just ask somebody else about that person, if they had a bad experience or something happened that they didn't like or whatever the case was, they're going to say, hey, look, you know what? I went to old girl, but man, she did this, she did that, and I really didn't like it. I didn't like the energy. I went to this guy. He tried to fill on my booty, whatever the case was. Or he was great. Man, he gave me everything I needed. It took him 5 minutes to get me straight. Don't just stop at one person either. Don't stop at one person. Go to several people. Hell, ask me. If there's anything I can offer to tell you, I have recommended people to people. And unfortunately, my wife recommended somebody to somebody, and it turned out bad. That person will never get another recommendation from us. Because that weighs on my reputation. So if you have people out here that you trust, because think about it. I mean, we're around a community full of people that we deal with all the time. Right? So If you can't find 5 people in this community to ask a question about, then maybe something else going on. I'm going to read Susu's comment. Susu Watson says, I was thinking like if George Macaroni, Little Alfred, Steppin Greg, before he was in a wheelchair, if they was alive today, they wouldn't charge you. That's facts. They would just show you how to do this thing called stepping, even though I know time has changed and it's not like it was when we were coming up back in the 70s and back when people that have no problem showing you how to do this day. But can I say I don't want it? Nobody does stepping I'm talking about. Well, Susu, you and I need to do an interview with you, by the way. But you're right, Sue. But the thing is this. We are also now, like you said, we're in a different time now. And I know of a couple of legends who have offered things for me and my wife in that way. And because we come up in the same kind of eras and times, it's almost like you have to charge people now. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I learned something very valuable about people. It's kind of negative. It's unfortunate. But sometimes if you don't charge people, they don't think they got anything. I know that sounds silly, but that's the psychology that I'm familiar with. And Sue, the other thing is, again, we are in a different time, but it doesn't have to be that way. Imagine if we got it to the point now where so many people were cutting their own path and doing their own thing and making their own lane, like I talked about earlier, and did not have their hand out. Or say, for example, they were like, I got to get paid to teach this. I got to get paid to show this. Just imagine if in this community, because Susu, like I do, Sheila, you too, this community has grown exponentially from the 70s when we started doing this, when I started doing this. Imagine, and the only way we learn, we're from the watch and learn generation. We're from the generation where we put our hands on our partners and we did our thing. We got down. Imagine if that happened today with the amount of dancers that we have in this community right now. Imagine if people actually got together and had little think tanks at their house and little get-togethers and just taught each other and worked on their dance and say, man, I seen so-and-so do this move the other day. I'm talking about back in the day. It don't have to be back in the day. It could be right now. Man, I seen so-and-so do this thing the other day. Come on, man, let me try this. Let me see if I can work this out. Come on, get up with your boy. Come on. That's how we did it. Imagine if that happened today. Do you know how cold some of these people would be? Because you're not on the floor worrying about, oh, they're going to see me. Oh, I don't want to make that move. I don't want people looking at me. Oh, they're going to say I can't dance. We didn't have them problems back then. We were more open to each other. We were more about the community. We were about each other. We took care of our people. Imagine if we did that today, man. Good grief. With some of the dances we got out here now, and now, since we've incorporated now all of these different combinations and turns that we wasn't doing back then, imagine some of the power and just ridiculous, insane dancing that we would be able to experience, witness today, if that was a thing. But people have been lulled into this ideology that the only way you can get this dance is you got to go to this instructor. It's just not true. It wasn't true then. It's not true now. Let's go back to the values that I talked about earlier. The only reason a dollar has a value is because we collectively decided that it did. If the community collectively decided tomorrow that we are going to get together in our little groups in our cities and we're going to learn this dance and do what we want to do, it would change the game. There's a lot of things that are happening right now. This whole community is in reset mode. There's a lot of things and a lot of people being exposed, a lot of ridiculousness that's being cut out, and people are finding their own way. I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of people understanding the freedom that comes with this dance if you just let it affect you the way that it should. Let that freedom become a part of your understanding of this community. Get this history, get this culture, and stand on your own and do what you got to do in this dance. There's a lot of other things I really want to say about that, but I ain't finna go there. Listen, y'all need to come on. Get your dance on. You don't need nobody's approval. You don't need nobody's acceptance. You can do this. Every individual out here can do this dance if you want it. Some people want it more than others. The ones who want it more than everybody else will be the exceptional ones. Everybody else is going to be the hoi polloi, the everyday people. And it ain't nothing wrong with that. Because without you, without all of us, icons, legends, heavy hitters are nobodies. That makes you the one in power. That makes all of us collectively the power that we all need to make this community grow and be prosperous and more powerful and bring us all into our own space and our own time and our own abilities and not worrying about what somebody else might say because we turned left instead of right. I'm just saying. It's that time, y'all. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming and hanging out with your boy today. And let me get my rant out. Let me get my row out right quick and talk about some of the things that I personally am wanting for people to get more clarity and understanding about. Because if I'm not able in my lane, the lane that I've cut over here, to help you, to touch you, to make your journey better, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing here. And I can cut this thing off because it serves me no purpose to sit here and listen to myself talk. And it serves no purpose for me to just be on here. I'm not going to do that. What I say must be beneficial to the masses, the hoi polloi in this dance. And the day that I stop doing that, I want one of y'all to tell me, hey man, you ain't it no more. And I'll go sit down. I need y'all to pull my car. Hey man, look, you ain't doing what you're supposed to do on that show. You just blowing hot air. Go on, let me know. I'll get on out the way. Because trust me, it's plenty of days I want to anyway. But I'm not going to because I have a commitment. I have a charge to y'all. And I'm going to continue as long as the Most High let me. I'm going to continue doing this for everybody else. So, with that said, it is about that time, and I'm going to leave you with my favorite quote. Never measure an event by the quantity of the people in attendance, but by the quality of memories you create with the people who are present. You dig? Church on the move, all right? The collaboration is real. Let me thank all of my... Wait a minute, I'm tripping. Let me stop. Hold up. Let me handle my business here. My folks. End of the month. End of May 31st through the through the 3rd, through the 2nd. I always get the dates wrong. My girl Sunshine Haywood, we are going to be in Chicago, live and in living color, Inside Steppin will be in the building. Y'all get ready for that because I'm telling y'all, it's going to be off the chain. It's going to be a 5-5 set. Now, gentlemen, right quick, fellas, I know we tend to move slowly when it comes to getting our tickets and things like that. But we expect you fellas to show up and show out at the reunion. May 31st, Chicago, Illinois, Noble Lounge, which used to be the Nimbus Disco. See, anyway, it's going down. Y'all need to be there. In June, June 26th through the 29th. I got to put my glasses on, y'all. I can't see a damn thing. June 26th through the 29th, 2005. Was the birthday celebration. We will be in Las Vegas with my girl Sandra V. I'm sorry, Sandra. Nicole V. Where I get Sandra V from? Where I get Sandra?
Her name is Sandra. Her last
Okay,
name
that's what it is.
Johnson.
Sandra, I'm going to need you to cut down some of them names. You got too many names, baby. I'm messing with you. Anyway, my man Carmichael will be in the building. DJ Myron will be in the house. You know Myron going to be doing his daggone thing. Mellow Chris, Maddie B, the line dance lady. This is a birthday celebration, y'all. We're going to have my man Devin Smith Sr. on the MC side. Myself and the First Lady right here, we're going to be doing our thing with Inside Steppin. Andre Blackwell and Jesse Roy will be in the house. Y'all need to come check that out. I'm looking forward to that. You know, I ain't been out to Vegas. And while I'm out in Vegas, let me give a shout out to my man Stretch Alex, who is convalescing and getting better. And I want to give him a shout out. And he just had a birthday, you guys, on Saturday. So happy birthday, Stretch. That's my dude right there. I'm going to check him out while I'm out in Vegas and come see my man. Now, the other event, because see, for the rest of y'all, this one of my paying customers right here, y'all. Like October 16th through the 19th, the 10th anniversary Metropolitan Steppers stepping into our nation's capital. Listen, y'all, the DMV gonna be on fire. I'm telling you now. My man Norman Cherry and his crew, my girl Jackie Ballard over there. Jackie, I owe you a dance, Jackie. I got you faded. I know I said I don't be dancing that much, but I'm going to dance. We got my man Myron on the ones and twos. We got Cheryl Sugarfoot Poe in the house as one of the instructors. We got Mellow Chris, Sharnese Simmons, and Royce Banks will be in the building, y'all. Thursday, got the meet and greet, $20 at the door. Friday, Rep Your City, $55 at the door. See, they got that a la carte, y'all. I like that. That's smart business right there. See what I say about being about business? It's a business thing. You dig? You got to do business. You got to understand your business. This is a smart move. Saturday, Black and Silver Affair, Step of Sharp. We need to do a whole show about Step of Sharp. Matter of fact, I'm going to let the ladies do, we're going to have Miss, the producer lady, we're going to have her and her crew, because she got a whole new crew, y'all. It's about to go down for the ladies. Ladies, we're going to have a spinoff show coming up, and it's going to be an all-women thing. Y'all going to talk about fashion, makeup, all kinds of good stuff. So y'all look forward to that. But anyway, Saturday, Black and Silver Affair, Step of Sharp, $65 at the door. And on Sunday, you got the Farewell Brunch, $45 at the door. Metropolitan Steppers, man, it's going down. They got the two of the top DJs in the house. And listen, this let me tell y'all something about Metropolitan Steppers. This event has been going on now for 10 years. This is one of the most respected and well put together events of the year. This is one, y'all know I like to talk about value, the value of an event. We ain't gonna get into that because we don't want to go there right now. But that's another show for another time. But y'all know I talk about value at these events. This is one of those events where you will get your money's worth. All events are not created equal. Let me also give a shout out to my girl, Bema Johnson, and her upcoming event, first of next year. It's going to be a barn burner, baby. Y'all might as well get ready for that. Stepping in Elegance. It's going to be ridiculous. Houston, Texas, get ready. There are several other events in between here and there. But those are my paying customers. So the rest of y'all, what?
I was saying you did Tina, you did Sunshine,
Yeah.
you did Vegas, and Valerie.
I'm getting instructions over here. Okay. All right. Let me just back up. Because, see, I get in trouble, you know. This producer lady over here producing from the sideline. Denim and Diamonds, y'all. Last weekend in September, one of my favorite events in the whole wide world. My girl Valerie O'Connor is going down.
Southwest got a sale going on too right now.
Oh, and I heard Southwest got a sale going on. Y'all be mindful of them doggone luggages, man. Them luggages be messing you up. You got to watch them with that luggage. Matter of fact, let me suggest to y'all, since we on that subject right quick, start looking at these other airlines. At one point, I was, of course, a Southwest fan, specifically for the reason that they have. I was always able, with media, we were able to move our equipment and things fairly reasonably without jumping through a bunch of hoops. But now that they've gone up on these bag fees, listen, a gentleman, I won't say his name, while we were at Black and Bling, had flown in. They charged him $200 because he had one of them big suitcases. They charged him $200 for that bag. He literally went to the store, bought another bag, repacked all his stuff, and I brought that bag back to San Antonio with me, which I'll be taking with me to Chicago for him to retrieve. But the point is, though, that they're tripping on that bag thing, and I personally think they're going to be going out of business soon, but I'm just saying. You just check other airlines. They're no longer the go-to airline for fares or any of that, because everybody else is just as competitive now. I mean, they're in the same neighborhood. Sheila Watkins says June 13th is the Get Down contest in Chicago. The Get Down is real, said Sheila Watkins. Also, while I'm at it, I might as well just go ahead and we got Crush and Cream coming up at the mid-August. Where's that flyer at?
April, red.
I know it, but I don't know. Okay, anyway, Crush and Cream color this year is red. We be down there with Ted the Boss Williams doing the doggone thing. Always a great set. Another one of my favorites. Listen, this is one of those. Listen, the value on this one is high.
April 21st to the 25th.
I talk about these values, but I'm telling y'all, Ted's event value is high because you get a whole lot for your money. August 21st through the 24th, 2005, we'll be in Little Rock. That's the 9th annual Crush and Cream. $120 for the weekend pass. And baby, when I tell you we eat, we eat. We feed, and I'm talking about good food. I ain't talking about no trash. I'm talking about good food. It is a great set. The lineup is always phenomenal. Let's see. This year we're going to have Doc, E.T. Taylor, Pony Mac on the ones and twos, DJ Fly Diva, Daryl Smooth Greenwood. I can't see these other ones. Okay. Black Ice and DJ Randy E. And, of course, I'll probably be doing a day party again. Anyway, Greg Dixon, Lamont Watts, a club Steppin will be in the building. And, of course, we'll be broadcasting live, doing our thing. Oh, and Pat Clay will be in the house, too. That's what's happening. Anyway, always a great event. This is one of those that I highly recommend. I used to get in trouble, talking about certain events, but I'm going to just tell you like this. I highly recommend that particular event. That and Denim and Diamonds. Those are two of my favorites. And with all of the things that are shifting around the way that they are,
You just greedy. You like those events because they have food.
Yes, that's right. She said, I like those events because they have food. You're absolutely correct. It is a fantastic value. I like value. Here, take your phone back. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, the homecoming. Baby, look, I spoke with Irie today, and I think even Irie is becoming awestruck by the response that is coming through for the homecoming. The homecoming is going to be probably that one is going to make history. That one will be legendary, I think. I think that it's going to be one of those events that if you're not there, man, you're gonna wish you had been. It's gonna be like the Million Man March of Steppin. I spoke today about because what happened was I called Irie because there's a gentleman out here. Now I want y'all to pay very close attention to this. There's a guy out here named Brian Forbes. Not me. There's a guy out here named Brian Forbes who is not me. He is a hat maker. Baby, when I tell you that man got some of the flyest hats you ever did see that he hand makes, he will be in the building at the homecoming. He's out of L.A. He's going to be at the homecoming. Fellas, have your hat money ready because I'm telling you now, The man makes some bad ass hats, and he hand makes every last one of them. This ain't no off the rack, off the. This is what color you want, what band you want. Now I'm not saying he gonna be making them while he's there, but he will have some bad custom hats. And when I tell you you ain't gonna see another one like it, listen, badass hats. Be prepared. Bring your hat money. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Bring your hat money and a way to take it home. Make sure you got your hat boxes. He gonna have you right. All right, I ain't saying no more. I'm done. That's it. It's time for me to go. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each and every one of y'all. I want to especially thank all of my donors and the people who continuously make it possible for us to stay alive and on the air. I want to thank y'all. Thank you for all of the T-shirt purchases and all of your attention and all of your willingness to listen to these rants so that you can be better, so that I can be better, so that we can all be better together. And when we see each other and we greet each other, let's do it in the most wonderful and joyous way that we can, because I love y'all. Real talk. Most of y'all. So with that said, thank you. Y'all have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. And I'm going to see y'all again real, real soon. Peace out, my peoples. My peoples. My peoples. My peoples. Peace out.